Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB Daily Fantasy Preview Show for today, the 28th of June. I'm going to take a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'm going to take a look at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to ensure we maximise our point scoring potential, our foundation players, players who should be used as the foundations for a winning lineup, and value plays at each position for today as well. For anyone who hasn't signed up to play with DraftKings yet, I will pop a link in the description for this video to enable you to do so today, and I'm going to dive straight in at starting pitcher with Jose Quintana of the Chicago White Sox for 10,400. Quintana is incredibly unlucky. He gets no run support seemingly ever. His performances the last 6 weeks haven't been as good as the first 6 weeks of the season. He has a career ERA of 3.83 against the Minnesota Twins, which, although isn't great, the Twins have been plating runs and winning games the last 2 weeks despite their somewhat inept offense. Quintana is a hair below one strikeout per year, per inning this year, but the Twins are prone to strike out, and as such he is a solid play today with win chances against Kyle Gibson in opposition. Adam Conley of the Miami Marlins is 7,900. Conley is having his best month of the season, taking his ERA below 3 on the month with only 1 run allowed across his last 2 starts. He is worth a shade below 1 strikeout per inning. He gets the Tigers, who are more strikeout prone than most teams in baseball. If he can continue his solid performances, the strikeout should spike a little bit against this lineup, and the win is in play opposite Mike Pelfrey, who, as we know, is quite terrible as well. Julio Urias of the Los Angeles Dodgers for 7,400. We'll start with the negative on Urias. He is on a pitch count. They're watching his innings this year. They don't want him to do too much, so the amount he's going to pitch in this game is likely to be limited. We're not going to get a performance that's going to run deep into this game. That being said, the young lefty's best start did come against the Milwaukee Brewers, who are in opposition today. He pitched 5 innings with 8 strikeouts, a shutout ball with 6 base runners allowed that day. He has been worth more than a strikeout per inning and should do a solid number for you while allowing you to spend more on your hitters today. The Brewers do rank second in the league for strikeouts, and 7,400 I think is a perfectly reasonable price for the production you will get. Lucas Giolito of Washington is 6,900. The super prospect promoted straight from AA to the big leagues. He carries obvious risk with that statement, but he does get a Mets lineup that has been scuffling. They've not plated a lot of runs lately. All the scouting reports are good. He has been worth over a strikeout per inning in the minor leagues. The Mets did see him briefly in spring training, but that's all they've seen of him. He could have decent upside here today, with no mention of any innings count for him. I mean, he pitched over 130 innings in the minors last year. This might well be a spot start as well. They'll get from him what they get. There's potential for the win if Matt Harvey's struggles continue as well. I think he is another cheap pitcher with a reasonable amount of upside for you today. And let's go for one from left field. Ubaldo Jimenez of the Baltimore Orioles is only 4,800 today. Let's be honest, he has been an atrocity this year and is not a pitcher you like to hang your hat on. That being said, the Padres are better against left-handies. Jimenez did face the Padres his last start, and he pitched 6 innings of 2-run ball with 7 strikeouts. The Padres do strike out a lot. This park is an upgrade as well at Petco over Camden Yards, where the last game took place. For the money you're going to be spending on him, he could well give you a decent level of production for the price, and as I say, will enable you to get involved in the hitters today, because there are some cracking matchups. Looking at our stacks of the day, we will start at Coors Field, the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, they get Eddie Butler today. He looks close to the last chance saloon in the rotation for the Rockies after his recent struggles, allowing 12 runs across 8 innings and 8 home runs in his last 5 starts. The Jays at Coors is not a matchup he needs to be seeing today. First baseman Edwin Encarnacion is 5,500. He's red hot at the moment. His average is 259. He's got 21 home runs. He hit 2 of those yesterday. Third baseman Josh Donaldson for 5,600. The AL MVP is hitting 288 with 17 home runs. Outfielder Michael Saunders is 4,200. He's 4,800, I think. It's 291, 15 home runs, and he has the platoon advantage in the matchup. And Troy Tulowitzki on his return to on his return to Coors Field yesterday. Didn't do much. He's going to hit a home run in this series, surely. 214 and 11 home runs this year. As I say, he's got to go long at some point in this series. The Chicago Cubs, they get to face lefty John Lamb, who has had on occasion home run issues this year. This is a great yard to be hitting in at Great American Ballpark. The wind is forecast to be blowing out as well, and the Cubs went wild, scoring double digits last night. Javi Baez, second base, third base, 4,000 today, 261, 6 home runs, hits from the right side of the platoon. Chris Bryant, you can use him at third or in the outfield. He'll cost you 5,000, 278, 21 home runs with the platoon, 3 home runs yesterday, went 5 for 5, had 2 doubles as well. What a day. And switch hitting second baseman Ben Zobrist for 4,700. He's hitting 295 with 9 home runs. The Chicago White Sox were almost a stack. Kyle Gibson has experienced success against the Pale Hose though. The lineup still doesn't feel trustworthy, so I have decided not to include them. If you want to take a risk, then maybe stack some Orioles at Petco. They get Eric Johnson, who's been nearly as horrific since James Shields, who went the opposite way in the trade with the White Sox. And you might figure out another stack I like as we go through the foundation players and the value plays, but I'm trying not to duplicate stack players with foundation players and value plays, so you'll figure it out. My foundation players today at first base is Mark Reynolds of the Colorado Rockies for 4,800. It's at Coors against J.A. Happ, who does have fly ball tendencies. Reynolds is starting to heat up now. He's up to 291 and 8 home runs on the year. At second base, it'll be Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros. He's 4,900. It's not a great park. We know that in Anaheim. But Lincecum did struggle with control his last start, and Altuve offers complete production from a difficult position. He's hitting 348, 13 home runs and 18 stolen bases. At third base, Nolan Arenado of Colorado for 4,900. Cheap for a man with 21 home runs, hitting from the right side of the platoon against a fly ball pitcher at Coors Field. Just saying. Shortstop Francisco Lindor of the Cleveland Indians is 4,700. The switch hitter has multi-hit games, 3 games in a row now. Matt Wisler has been allowing base runners his last 2 starts. Lindor is 314, 10 home runs and 12 stolen bases this year. And in the outfield, I'll take Ian Desmond of the Texas Rangers for 5,200. He has crushed lefties this year. He gets CC Sabathia coming off a bad start in the Bronx. He's a 321 hitter with 14 homers and 13 steals. For my value plays at catcher, I will take Chris Iannetta of Seattle for 3,700. He gets John Neese with the platoon advantage. He has hit lefties well. While the park isn't outstanding at the safe, Iannetta does have a home run off of Neese. He's 231 with 7 home runs this year. At first base, I'll take Ryan Ruhr of the Texas Rangers. Also qualifies in the outfield, only 3,900. Excellent numbers against left-handed pitchers. And as I've already said, Sabathia struggled last time. Ruhr has hit a home run off of Sabathia. 284, 6 home runs, platoon advantage in the matchup. Jurickson Profar of the Texas Rangers qualifies at second and third. He's 3,700 today, 348, 3 home runs for the switch hitter who, against CC, is going to need to right the ship today. Sabathia, as I've said. My third baseman is Eugenio Suarez of Cincinnati for 3,400. Great looking conditions in the forecast at Great American Ballpark today. Suarez has a home run off of Lester and the platoon in the matchup. 228 with 14 home runs. At the shortstop, Elvis Andrus of the Texas Rangers for 3,400. He's hitting 288 with 3 home runs and 11 stolen bases. The right side of the platoon, excellent numbers against left-handed pitching with a 415 weighted on base average as well. And finally in the outfield, Adam Duvall of the Cincinnati Reds is 3,800 today. His 21 home runs and a 2.55 batting average and great conditions in Great American Ballpark today. That's all I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups. There won't be a show tomorrow because it's my son's birthday and I'm going out for the day, so I will be back on Thursday. See you soon. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to like the video, hit me up in the comments with the daily fantasy plays you like today, and press that subscribe button. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I will be here all MLB season and through the NFL season with daily fantasy sports advice. If you haven't signed up yet, or you're interested in starting to play daily fantasy sports, please click the link in the description for this video and that'll take you where you need to go to start playing with DraftKings today. Best of luck with your lineups and have a great day.